Hey, welcome to Winter Nation. My name is Michael Fagan. I'm your host. A lot going on. If you're in the industry, yesterday was the beginning of casinos reopening in Atlantic City, along with indoor dining indefinitely suspended. Also, Philadelphia, indoor dining not returning until at least August 1st. A lot of beaches on this 4th of July weekend are closed. Florida, California. Everybody seems to be rolling back, and it's the second day that the United States is over 50,000 cases countrywide, more so than ever before. So a lot of things have been going on. I've been thinking about a lot of us waiters out there. The CARES Act is running out. That $600 extra is running out in about 3 or 4 weeks, and that's been keeping us alive for the last 3 months. I wonder when you're going to coffee if you're buying that extra scratch off and you're talking to the man upstairs and you're saying, I don't need the whole 250 million. Give me 10 grand to get through this week. Let me get back. So we have a lot in common. If you're in the industry and you watch and you enjoy watching, please share, because maybe a lot of your friends are in the industry and they would have something to say and share. I'd love to hear your comments. You can comment in. Gary just commented. What's up, Gary? And we can talk. If anybody wants to come on live with me and Chris, well, I put the link right up in the description of the video. So we'd love to hear from you. I've had people in from Dubai, in Slovenia. People are calling in from the UK, California, Arizona. Pretty cool. So we're going to talk about where we're going, where we've been. And I'm talking with Chris Biscaglio. I've waited with him in a couple different restaurants. The first thing I said to him when I saw him is that he could rewrite the record book. And then he went to the dark side and became a manager. So it's a route a lot of us are maybe thinking about now. Man, I don't want to live on the tips. Maybe I just want to get that salary. A big day for me. I work in Atlantic City. Casinos have been my income for my entire adult life. I'm going to run a little video here of the opening of Atlantic City casinos, and me and Chris are going to share this, maybe get it out to a few people.
Absolutely.
Casino Resort hitting a reset button on Atlantic City gaming after 3.5 months of pandemic pause. It's a different scene. No smoking and no food or drink can be served inside. Crowds on gaming floors are limited to 25% occupancy, deactivated slots enforce social distancing, plexiglass shields staff and players, and everyone wears a mask.
There it is. Let's see now. It's going to be different at first. We'll adapt. We got to do the right thing for right now, social distancing and not eating inside.
It's just nice to be back. I'm originally from Jersey. I love coming to the Jersey Shore. So it's just, I'm happy that people have their jobs back.
Ocean offered outdoor food trucks and restaurant takeout to replace indoor dining, but it cost extra.
I don't mind paying since I won several $100s. So I can afford a breakfast sandwich.
Kind of sucks that we have to keep taking out. We can't go and enjoy dinner at a restaurant.
The operation brought back about half its staff. They know it's rolling dice, but after Atlantic City gaming revenues plunged more than 60% during the lockdown.
It's a start. We need to start somewhere. And I'm hoping that it'll expand from here. But in the meantime, we'll do our best to abide by all the rules that are put in place.
Hey, Chris, how's it going today, man?
Very good, very good. I like the video. That was good.
Well, you know, that's where we made our living for the last 20 years. So, you know, it is exciting. I think there's a lot of things going on with waiters. I've heard a lot of people are getting called back to work an event, and they want to know if they're not. They're working. You know what? The Chan gang, I don't know if they've been called back, but they're calling back restaurant waiters, and they're saying, we got an event outside. We're bringing in the high rollers. Come and work. And the question is, am I back to work? And they're like, no, just this weekend, you're back to work. So then, you know, you go in for a couple of days. Maybe you're out now for the next 3 weeks. Can you collect? You know, do you have to start all over? It is a big concern. Gary Ackerman, what's up, brother? Pat McGurk, what's going on this morning?
Hey, Pat.
We opened the Gordon Ramsay steak under tents at the pool deck yesterday.
Yeah. Listen, the opportunity for Atlantic City local business is there, right? The restaurants aren't open.
Right.
Okay? Places like Doc's Oyster House. We were talking the other day with a buddy of mine. I said, man, they have that huge parking lot. Get a big tent, have 50 tables. Perfect.
They are. They are actually. When you
Okay,
drive by,
good.
I don't know how many tables, but they got the tent and they're switching over to outside. That's
Yeah,
what they're doing.
That's a great idea. I mean, you think you have a lot of local business that can thrive with the restaurants being closed. I like the idea with the food trucks, outside
Yep.
tent, surface parking lots, wherever you have parking at, use it, utilize it. The boardwalk, the beaches, make it. It's going to be different for people. They have to adjust because Atlantic City. I mean, look at it right now. It's 92 degrees outside.
Yeah.
It's so hot. Who wants to eat outside? Not me.
Right.
I don't want to sweat and eat, and then I have the family to deal with. It's tough. It's not easy. But if you need to eat, it's there for you. I mean, is it a little bit of an inconvenience? Maybe. If you're staying in a hotel, you have in-room dining, 24 hours. You get whatever you want.
Right.
So I don't look at it as a negative for the restaurants not being open right now. Yeah, that for the staff, that's awful. Like you can't work, but they have to amp up service for in-room dining, right? Or it's going to take forever. They're gonna
No,
wait
and
an hour
and
20.
they are.
That's
And
crazy.
they are, and they're moving people from different outlets to go to. I mean, I've heard
Mhm.
different outlets. So if you're working in a coffee shop or a steakhouse or the Italian room, you're getting a call and you're saying, "Do you want to work room service?"
Yeah,
and
you
it's
got utility.
It's a hard choice because
It is.
there's no guarantee. How long do you need me? Do you need me just this weekend? Do you need me for
Right.
indefinitely? I'm going back to work. I don't even know if I can fit my uniform, Chris. But
I gotta
I
get new
think
shirts when I go back, Bub. Come
I
on.
think that's a big worry for all of us. I'm like, I haven't put that shirt on in 4 months. I don't
Yeah.
know if it
The name
fits.
tag's not gonna fit me. Like, I don't know.
But I know somebody that told me that they were called in to be a takeout person, right? Their restaurant is only going to take out. So they're going to make $11 an hour and they cannot pass. So that's really harmful financially.
Don't the guests have the ability to still tip?
They do.
At a fixed rate. When you're if it's a union job, how are you going to contract people in and say, well, you got to take this job now and it's non-tipped?
Well, I think that by the
That
time
calls
it gets,
like a huge pile of paperwork for the union and for the casinos.
I think it will, but for right now, it's like, what can you do? I can't fight it today. I have to go in and work and make $11 an hour and do
Yeah.
this takeout. I think that a lot of
Yeah.
people have been saying that customers are generous, but hey, if you're going to the casino and you're spending a lot of money, I don't know what the rooms are, a couple $100 a night, and you might be impatient with things. And I wouldn't expect. I mean, if you could go home with a little Wawa money, $20 in your pocket for a sandwich and a coffee on the way home, you'd be lucky. You're not going to go
Yeah.
home. I mean, we kill it. 4th of July in Atlantic City is a huge weekend,
Yeah.
money wise, tip wise for all of us.
Yeah, people coming in from all over. Borgata had the big plan. They wanted to go all out. It was going to be like a grand reopening.
Right.
And they were like, wait, no food or drink or you can't smoke in the casino. Yeah, we'll pass. We'll wait.
Right.
It's unfortunate. I mean, I think I've heard rumors that Harris wants to do the same thing. I don't know if that's true, but it's tough to. Again, Chris Green was talking yesterday about meeting, your goals and your margins. And if you can't do that, they're going to be like, yeah, we're going to shut this down. We're going to limit the hours on this. We're going to cut this. We're going to do that. And it's just you're going down the rabbit hole, and it's just
Yeah.
spiral. And you don't
He
know
was
where-
saying yesterday that the goal isn't to make money. The goal is not to lose money. And then it's the goal to not lose much money.
break
and-
even.
If you're breaking even, survival, right? Everybody's surviving. And it's
We
scary.
don't know that.
Yesterday, the governor passed, I guess, an executive order, and he said up to 500 people can meet outside. That might be good for fireworks. It might be good for if you have a large place and you bring a band in or something like that. You can social distance. A lot of people have been saying that the governor of New Jersey, his daughter's getting married this weekend. The wedding's outside. How convenient. I neither like the governor or dislike the
Governor's
governor.
orders.
I neither like him or dislike him. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I would never wear a Biden hat. I would never wear a Trump hat. I don't care. I just
Right.
like to talk about how it affects us.
That's why.
However,
I mean, look, when you go to see the fireworks in Atlantic City, you got the White Horse Pike packed with traffic. People are watching everywhere. There's 10,000 people. That's not making a
Right.
difference. 500 people is silly. That's a silly number. Even with the 25% occupancy. How do they come up with that number? By the fire marshal code? What?
Yeah,
anybody can fix those numbers. Hey, Jess.
Hey,
Anybody
Jess, how
can
are
fix
you?
those numbers and say I can fit 125 because the space says I can fit 500 standing. I don't know. That's goofy. I don't know how they're figuring that number out.
Jess, are you back to work? Are you working over there? Are you are you the takeout queen? Are you working in room service?
Everything. You got to do it all, right?
Yeah, Jess
Yeah.
is a manager, so they're you know.
You're not going to be walking around. I mean, like for me, I mean, I feel like I'll have to do everything. I'll be in the dish pit. I'll be doing prep with the sous chefs. Beverage. You're going to be shaking cocktails behind the bar. You're going to be bar backing. It's not like, hey, let's just coast around and cruise control on the floor as a manager. I really don't think that is going to be a thing for a while. Hey, Joe. I think that it's going to be a process, and people are going to have to step up to the plate. They really are going to have to step up. Customer interaction, making those connections with a mask on, without a mask on.
That's right. There's a hey Kyle, what's going on? I know you're going to Steak 48. They were probably going to open maybe a week or two before right in March they were going to open Steak 48 in Philadelphia. I know
they were doing a lot of training, and I don't know how that, obviously that sucks because they were really amped up for this weekend and getting back to it. And then, with Wolf saying probably not until August now, dude, I mean, they brought in food for the staff to take all the tastings, all the training. You're bringing the things in. And then listen, in Philly right now, to get your deliveries for beverage, it's difficult because, date store, you have to get from certain stores, you have to order, vendors changed, all your sales reps, they're on furlough still. And it's like those connections that you made over years kind of dissipate, and you have to start fresh even with them. You have no networking skills with anybody because they're all these guys that are from, New York, Delaware, coming in to take over territory until everybody gets called back to work. It's very difficult. Yeah.
Right. I wonder, I was talking to Chris yesterday, and he was saying Chef Giuliano, he didn't only order supplies, but they were prepping. They were a day and a half, right? Like their guys were
Dolce, they're doing pasta.
Right.
They have to prep all that stuff and flash freeze it so that they can use it for service. Right in the trash.
Right. I know.
Or eat it. Like, I don't know.
It is here's hey Steven's from Pittsburgh. As of yesterday, Allegheny County in Pittsburgh has shut down everything for a week except for takeout.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything outside in Philadelphia, Chris?
No, because for Harp and Crown, we don't have outside seating. The Independence Beer Garden is open in full bore.
Okay.
And, it's a huge space. I
Right.
think more than 40,000 square feet. It's, it's underneath an area where it's like out of the sun, and they do a lot of food that comes, it's easy. It's pretty much eat and throw away. They're using, plastic cups and using glass as well, still straws, everybody has to get masked up. The directors and managers are walking around. Hey, keep your mask on as a courtesy. When the servers come over, kind of flip it on for a minute, have that conversation, and flip it off when you're still enjoying your food. So it's a challenge, and the bigger the space is, the more of the challenge, because you need more bodies to tell people, hey, they had 4 drinks. They're like, I want to go smoke a cigarette over off to the side. They're like, I don't want to wear my mask no more. And then they come back in, and they forget. And then you have to have a 5-minute conversation like, hey, this is why you need it on, and
Right.
Nobody wants to hear that after they have 4 or 5 drinks. They just want to have a good time and relax. They've been penned up like animals for 4 months.
Right.
And they want to go out, You hear the stories on the news and everything. Guys go out. The one guy got the virus, and he was like, oh, we were sharing drinks because we were waiting for drinks. What are you doing? Just be patient. That's why you got sick.
Roseanne says wants to know if you're wearing gloves. Is everybody wearing gloves in the restaurant, or is that the plan anyway, Chris?
I mean, I would definitely have my bar staff, bar backs, my bussers, my runners, kitchen staff constantly on the glove. I mean, you have to. I mean, just to be safe. I mean, for the dish pit at that fast pace with volume, like look at, you have 40,000, right? Square foot space. You having 200 people in there at a time. Stuff's coming back to get washed constantly. You have to. I mean, it's tough. That's a tough position to have right now.
I have been hearing a lot, like Chris was saying yesterday, that like your bar trays, you can't reuse a bar tray. You can't put it down on your side station, pick it back up and go get it. your pens. Like you can't pull a pen out of your pocket and give it to everything that anybody touches, a waiter, anybody,
Oh yeah.
cannot go back on the table
Nope.
at
We couldn't
all.
get- when we were doing takeout to go over at Double Knot and Sampan,
Yeah.
they were getting chopsticks and napkins, but they couldn't. We were thinking, oh, let's do a menu insert for other places that were doing to go, but because of the touching
Yep.
and putting it in, we were like, you couldn't do it. We couldn't add menus or promote other restaurants because you couldn't have that paper menu in with the food. That was a no-no. Yeah. You
It
ever
seems
get
almost
saying-
less than
Yeah,
washing your hands.
listen. I mean, if you're not flipping them, I mean, I think I saw service for where was it? I don't know what restaurant it was, but they were constantly every interaction they had to take gloves off and put new gloves on, and that takes time. I went out to eat with my wife for our anniversary, and we went to a local spot in Hamilton, Anata Wine Bar. Great
okay.
spot.
Yeah.
And the service was great. They had the masks on the whole time, but they didn't have gloves. They were using all glass. Silverware was in a roll up and clean. Glassware was clean. Plates were clean. Food was great. I mean, service was great. It wasn't delayed. It didn't seem like there was a delay in steps of service. I know we were talking about that. You talked about it on the show. It's just that if there is a little bit of a delay, expect that going in as a guest.
Sure.
And enjoy yourself. Have a conversation with your wife or your significant other.
Yeah.
And enjoy yourself. Like, we have that casino mentality where it was like, all right, I want to get in. I want to get back to the craps table, 45 minutes. I want to have a well-done steak and a baked potato and a bottle of wine, and I'm back out there.
Yeah.
And we all have had guys like that and girls like that wanted to do that. But that's, right now, I don't think that should be the case. If you're going out to dine at a 4 or 5 star establishment that has a well-known
Yeah, that's what Steve from Pittsburgh, he's saying that, if you're paying $100 a person, those are going to suffer the most, because really what we want to do, we just want to get out. So you can go out and get chicken wings with your buddy, have a couple beers, and have the same, it's just so nice to get out. So the places that are $100 a plate, and a lot of the well-known world famous chefs in New York, they're just closing down. They're saying we can't do it. The places that are $300 a head and it's prefixed and all that.
I don't know. I find that like I have mixed feelings on that, because if you are serving such high caliber dining experience, then those people are still going to want to come in. And now it's not a volume game. It's more about, okay, now you're coming in, you're sitting down, the space is there, because even if they are filling up, it's not a big deal. If they're doing 120 a night, you figure, okay, well, now you're doing 60, and now you have reservations booked even further out, and people have to, it's just like the DC area in New York, you're planning a month ahead to go out to dinner somewhere nice with someone, because that's what you have to do. And people in Atlantic City never had to do that to book a reservation. It was like, okay, in 2 hours, I want to go to XYZ restaurant and enjoy it and have a great dinner.
And just walk in anywhere.
Now you have to plan ahead a little bit. You have to be responsible.
Yeah.
And if you're going to eat out, you have to plan accordingly a little more, that's what I think.
Bud Johnson, what's up, man? He's giving you a shout out.
There's a Steak 48 staff guy right there.
Steak 48 guy. I know Matt Kinkellan was going to manage up there. We talked about it. I was thinking myself to go up there. I'm glad I didn't, because I probably wouldn't get any unemployment, because I would have quit my job and left there, and then boom, nothing. Heat wave is coming. Outdoor dining.
100%. Like I said, who the hell wants to eat outside 92 degrees with a hint of sun coming on your table, glaring you in the eye? Not me. Sorry. I'll eat at my house.
Yeah, if you're going to a casino and you're going to do a little gambling and you're going to stay in the room and you take the stuff back, I guess it's a getaway, right? You just want to get out. So I see it. I would
do it for dining. I would just say, hey,
right,
let me get a steak, let me get a bottle of wine, or I'm bringing a bottle of wine into the room, whatever, and I'm popping it, and me and Kristen are enjoying ourselves. I would still go down. If I could get a room, get away for a couple of days, I'd go to the casino. I'd have a great time. I was curious anyway to see. Like. I mean, there's so much metrics and infrastructure that they had to do to make it work, which is incredible. I mean, God bless the staff that put everything together for all the casino properties. I mean, God bless you guys. You did a great job for opening. I mean, it's crazy.
I've been hearing a lot of different things that people are pivoting, people are reinventing this industry. If you're around the country, Texas, California, Florida, if you're in the belly of the beast down there in the Sunbelt states and you're closing up, give us a comment. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely.
You know, I'd love to hear you. Hey, Steve, what's going on? So Steve sent me a quote yesterday from Anthony Bourdain.
Okay. Yeah.
About how everybody should work in our industry, and it would humble you, and it's really terrific. It's up on my Facebook if you want to if anybody wants to read it. It's really good. I heard that like some restaurants, Chris, they're not just doing takeout, but you can come in and buy the raw steaks or the raw food, and then you can take it home. They're throwing everything up against the wall, and they're saying, come in and get 4 fillets. We won't cook it, and we'll give you $10 off or whatever they're doing there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Del Frisco's was very successful in the Philadelphia store. They were definitely doing a lot of takeout to go. They did Memorial Day. They did Mother's Day, 4th of July. They're having a huge one. I saw the promo. It's a great option if you don't want to, and you're getting great product, you know, and you can, they're not cutting corners there, and it's packed for you very nice, like Omaha Steaks would do or something like that. And you can get it at your house, or you go pick it up. Go for it. But
right.
I'm going to my local market. I'm going to my local market, and I'm going to support local business right now. Those are the places that need it the most. I'm not going to drive an hour and go pick up 4 steaks to cook on my grill at home. No,
Yeah,
I can make it work at what I have over here.
I think in a lot of the restaurants that were poised already in their work. Hey, buddy, what's up? Who's this?
That's Rocco.
That's right. And congratulations. You and your wife just had a new baby in February, Chris?
Leo. Yep.
Leo. Congratulations.
Over here. Yep. He's hanging out.
How's our buddy Danny doing?
Dan's doing good. We're doing a nice party tomorrow, a little 4th of July. We're going over there and taking it easy. There's Manny. Hey, Manny.
Look at this guy. What's up, Manny? Just crushing it in Florida. Manny, Manny, I got a lot of respect for you, man. You're terrific on the floor. But I think he went to the dark side too, and he got out of the business. He's doing something else, which he might end up being the smartest movie ever made, going through all this. Good to hear from you, Manny.
Yes, okay. That's done.
We're doing Backdoor Butcher Shop, and that has been successful. Yeah. Roseanne, where are you from? Are you from around here or Romeo DeBono? Congrats, Chris.
Oh, thanks, Romeo.
Yeah, Rome, how are you doing? I know you were set up to do your indoor dining, and now I guess you put some tables outside and for the 4th of July. Yeah. How's it going with your plans and everything else? Healthcare, baby. Smartest guy in the business. Hey, if I have any advice to the young guys that always message me and say, how can I succeed in the business? Get out. It's not going to be the same for years, right? I mean, what we have done for most of our career, a year, 18 months, 2 years, maybe. I mean, it's going to be a different industry altogether, I would think.
There's a ton of opportunity for, if you want to take that risk and maybe open up your own place, or you want to jump into management, or you might want to become a SOM. You had ample time to do all those things. I saw you had Jimmy Utah on. That man, he did it right.
You know what?
And he's back in his home state, killing it. And God, like I said, he did it right. I mean, he's educating people. Don't think you're cornered right now. Take the opportunity. Take the SOM courses. Maybe say, you know what, I want to do. Maybe I want to cook a little bit. Understand the back of house aspect of things. Yeah. Get into beverage a little more. Specialize, because when it does go 100%, every asset that you can bring to the table, and you know this, Mike, that's going to be a huge plus for the rehiring process. For us especially, I talk to a ton of staff, and that's exactly what I tell them. I say, listen, you have time off. You're comfortable. You're making money, right? Collecting unemployment, the plus time, the whole 9. But make sure you're still educating yourself. Don't feel flattened. Go out there and educate and figure something out. Figure out what you want to, have a backup plan too. I mean, there's all these options that you can have to
That's right.
better yourself right now with all the time you have.
Because
a lot of free time.
in 2 months or 6 months or whenever we open up and everybody's out looking for jobs, it's guys like us and Bud Johnson and Kyle and you and me. It's all the guys that know all the answers and have a ton of experience that you're going to be competing against for the job. They're going to have 10 positions and you're going to have 400 people at the door knocking saying, I need a job. So anything that can put you ahead of everybody else with knowledge or what's up, Josh? Josh hosts with me on Wednesday. We're going to do a Wednesday, Thursday history. And I'm reading this morning that the White House is seriously considering doing another round of stimulus, the same 1,200 months plus 600 a week, encouraging since the representative. It seems like it's up to the Senate. I did hear Trump say that he does want to get the money out there.
Down to the wire. I mean, like, it's great. Like, I mean, I can't believe it's 4th of July and we have 3 weeks until that 600's gone. And I've been watching the news closely. I mean, I'm sure Josh has been too.
Everybody
way more into it. And I'm like, what's the plan? And at the federal level, there's so many distractions going on right now. It's not distractions, but it's tough to balance it all. Unemployment rate at 11-12%. People are just, it's going to get hotter. People are going to get more upset.
It is because some people went back to work in June and didn't anticipate not being out of work by July 1st. And that's exactly what's going on. And also, I think, in Philadelphia, it's already saying that it's not going to open until at least August 1st. And CARES Act finishes 7-8 days before that. So we're already going past where we can collect an income each week.
Right.
It's scary. Manny's in Tampa closing bars and restaurant, record cases. I know. I look at the numbers every day, Manny. How are you and the family down there? I almost have to economy will crash. Yeah, if there's no stimulus, right? There's no 600 and there's no stimulus and places, people will get desperate. People that, will be out robbing places, will be out getting desperate, doing desperate things because if you can't feed your family, if you're going to lose your house, if you're going to, you got people calling, it makes you crazy out of your mind. And then you get mad and then you blame the government and whatever side you're on, you're going to blame Governor Murphy, Democrat, Republican, Trump. It doesn't matter. You're going to blame them. Your anger is going to go that way. We definitely have a mob mentality with Facebook and everything else where we just all pile on, and misery likes company. So we all want somebody else to agree that I'm hurting and I need help. But everybody I talk to says, we need that $600. I'm not going back. I mean, I haven't been called back. My restaurant's not open. I had 2 jobs. I was working doubles on the weekends and singles during the week and doing well. And neither job I'm getting called back, at least until the second wave. Well, Atlantic City, if they call me back in August 20th, what do they need me for? 10 days, 2 weeks? And then we go into September. And I think that the excitement right now to go out is at an all-time high. But after you go out 2 or 3 times and maybe, if things weren't right and you said, I went to that restaurant, but it really, I didn't see some things that I like, they're going to stay home for the fall.
Yeah, the gift and the curse of us going out to eat, right? And then the same thing with back-of-house chefs and food. Yeah. Like I have close friends and they're like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I can go out knowing what happens behind the scenes. I'm like, in the kitchen and in your district and things like that. And listen, everybody's taking the utmost safety precautions of what to do to make sure that everybody's going out and having the best experience they can.
Yeah.
But like you said, I was watching. I was like a sniper. I was like looking around the restaurant. Like, what'd they do? Did anybody grab glass? From the top. Are we using stems? What's going on? Fingertip only on the plate. Little things like that we all take for granted. And listen, it's not that busy. What happens when a place gets crushed?
Yeah.
Right?
And
no one has gotten crushed yet.
No.
They're all like, I'm doing it soft. It's like a soft opening for a restaurant. You're doing 40 covers in an hour. That's nothing. Do 120 old school and see how a place runs. And everybody's like running around like crazy, sweating.
With 4 turns trying trying to get silverware out of dish and clean
Yeah,
glasses
polish
out of
at the
dish.
table. Yeah.
Polish it at the table. Sure. And here's the thing. You can't get away with anything. And I've said it before, like a hair on the table, you lost your customer forever. And that's just,
Yeah.
you know, and we see everything in the business. We live in casinos, in restaurants. So, you know, we've seen dirty things. We've seen lipstick on a glass. You can't get
Yep.
away with that. I mean, that will go on
That's-
Facebook.
yeah.
That'll end up on
Regardless
CNN, you know, on their daily report. If you got lipstick and you know, goddamn lipstick is so strong it stays on you for right,
Yeah.
or it stays on women 24 hours. You know, you gotta wipe that shit off. So
Throw it glass
crazy.
away. Done. See you later.
Josh saying every single cent will go back. Yeah, every single cent goes right back to Amazon, baby. We get that 1,200. We're like, I need something for the house. Let's get on Amazon. The trucks are outside the neighborhood. What happens to the smaller places are forced to close due to no money. That's
Yeah.
more people. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I've seen people say, hey, some restaurants are going to close. And I hear the word economy. We got to open the economy. I like to hear like it's people. It's not an economy. It's not numbers. It's not looking at the numbers and say, well, we're down or up 2%, 3%. And we've saved the car industry, the banks. We bail out
Oh,
everybody.
yeah.
We got to bail out 40 million people that were on unemployment. 300,000 in New Jersey are working in restaurants. There's 11 million in the country, and we're probably hit the hardest, other than the people that are doing live events. You know, and like the DJs, the nightclubs.
Yeah.
What's you're a huge sports fan. What's your take on how lack of sports or half a season is going to affect the restaurants? Because everybody likes to have a beer at a restaurant or sit at the bar or, you know, Chicky and Pete's kind of deal.
Listen, I just want my cutout in the stadium at Citizens Bank Park, man. And if I catch the foul ball, if it hits me, I get a free baseball.
All right. Are you
I think they can do it. Like, listen, the Major League Baseball Association can think outside the box, right? They don't have the best attendance in a lot of ballparks. They
Mhm.
have huge space, 48,000, 50,000.
yes.
They have the space. You can do it. You can make it work. Like, okay, only offer it to season ticket holders. So how many season ticket holders you have? You know, I don't know. Maybe they have 30,000. Not everybody
Yeah.
goes to the ball game.
Yeah.
You have 50,000 seats. Let's figure it out. Maybe you don't go to every game, but maybe you can go to one game a week, and
Right.
you get to sit where you want. All right, and the concessions are there for you, and the safety is there. I mean, when I walk into Citizens Bank Park, I feel safe. Like every time, I never
Right.
feel overcrowded. Like back in the day, like when you would go to vet and then you'd have to walk down the ramps and everybody was mass people. It's not like that anymore. You know, I think they could pull it off. Not having any fans is tough. I want to definitely have baseball come
Right.
back. You know, NFL, they seem like they got it together and figured out. I think, you know, I was talking with a lot of friends. Maybe they could centralize and have them play in one area, you know, and then its teams go back to their city and they stay kind of quarantined in their hotel or their homes. They go into their facility, they get tested every day in and out. They can still live their normal life, but it's going to be a little restricted.
Yeah. You wonder
know,
if
and
a guy like, you know, the superstars go back and risk getting sick because there are long lasting effects that might,
Yes.
You don't die. And everybody says, well, we're not going to die. Well, you could have, you know, in 5 years from now, you could get an illness or need a procedure, and that could definitely affect you, you know, 5 years down the road. It scars your lungs. I mean, I don't know.
I'm watching UFC fights. I mean, that's the craziest thing out there. There's blood, spit all over the mat. These guys are healthy as a clam.
Right.
I'm like, if they're not, I don't see one case. Haven't heard anything unless somebody has. UFC, anybody getting sick? How? Those guys are touching each other, blood everywhere, like anything you could think of. You think they'd get sick,
Right.
but they seem they're still having events. They just had 2 more the past month. You know, they had the women's fight, they had the men's fight. And I'm like, wow, it's incredible. You know, WWE, same thing. They're wrestling.
Are they doing it with the
training, they're down
crowds?
in Florida, and then
Are
they're
they
gonna
doing it
wrestle.
with the crowds, Chris?
No, nobody there. Just the team. You
Okay.
know, and no fans or anything like that. You just have to watch it on TV, and so weird to watch because you hear everything. It's pretty wild.
Right.
You know,
It's like going to a
and
live.
then, you know, look at the NBA. The NBA wants to play in Florida.
Yeah.
That's the worst place to play.
They should go play in Alaska
Like,
or
They
something.
were
Right.
maybe that's not the best idea. Maybe they want to change it up. You know.
Yeah.
Hey Juan, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I wonder, if you're an athlete and you're the top 1% athlete in the country and you take a risk of getting infected and next year you come back and instead of running a 4.2, you're running a 4.7, now you can't play anymore. I don't know. If you're making enough money, I'd probably sit it out. I don't know. I mean, now if they lit my parking lot on, what's that? But now, I'm starved out. So if they lit my parking lot on fire, I'd still walk to my car and go to work if that's what we have to do. I think that's everybody's position right there. I think yeah, there you go, Chris. So I don't know. Are there going to be fireworks in Atlantic City? I know I've seen some things that different cities are going to have some fireworks, but they're not announcing them. So nobody will crowd up. They're just going to start popping them off somewhere. And
Yeah.
we'll get this. Don't worry about the sound. Your wife's a teacher, right, Chris? His wife is a teacher. I know they've been hit hard
Yeah.
as well.
So they had.
Yeah, teachers have been hit hard too because she's home online teaching their students. You're home from the restaurant. You got the kids screaming around. It's been a crazy house for you for the last few months, huh?
A little bit. I mean, Kristen we had the kid in February,
Right.
so she was off, and she didn't have to go back to do any online teaching.
Okay.
She had an interim teacher that did that. She was due back in June, but they said we're going to stick with the interim teacher, and then obviously things going back in September. They're still up in the air about what they want to do, and it's okay because the school systems have to figure things out independently for one another. I think that they'll definitely have integrated online teaching and then some days in the classroom. I think that's best for everybody, but the kids need the interaction.
Are they?
My son's 3.
Yeah. Are they planning? Is your wife,
And-
getting messages from her school that they're planning in the fall that school is going to resume?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they have to have action plans, A, B, and C set up.
Yeah.
So that they can figure out what they want to do, because we don't know. You have to anticipate what to expect. Will the coronavirus hit again? Absolutely. How do we prevent and take the best safety precautions on what needs to happen?
Mhm.
Again, classroom, 25 kids in a classroom?
Yeah.
That's 600 square feet. The math doesn't work.
No.
Just like a restaurant in a smaller system.
And the kids are the
difficult,
little germs, right? They are germs. They carry it from home to school, and then the teachers, and then back to
Right,
home.
they get everything. The Petri dish.
Yeah, you are little dirty people.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's Dan Jackson up to? Is he are you talking to him on a regular basis for work?
Living the life.
Is he?
Oh yeah. I mean, we stay in contact. I'm gonna go inside too, by the way,
Okay.
because I think the connection's gonna be better inside.
Okay.
We're just kind of staying together, talking every day, kind of taking it easy. For the most part, I don't think we can do anything. We're at the will of what needs to happen for the coronavirus. I mean, we don't know what to expect. It's a lot of work that goes into it, and to get started and get the train moving in the right direction takes a lot of effort.
I think that
with limited staff.
the biggest frustration is don't worry about your boy making noise. The biggest frustration is that it's totally out of our control. We wake up every morning and we think to ourselves, did I get the phone call? It's not me. I can't go out and hand resumes out. I can't start up back at work. I can't hustle. It's completely out of my control. It's in everyone else's control. And that uneasy feeling is something that we're not familiar with. We're go-getters. We go out and we hustle. We overcome whatever it takes. And that's the most frustrating thing to me right now, that everything is out of my control. I should have Dan on.
Yeah, I feel, I feel you there on a management level. Out of control. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he would love to have you on, I'm sure.
How are
He's
you?
been doing a lot of work at home. And
Yeah. How are you talking to your customers? I mean, not your customers, but your staff, because everybody's saying, leadership and communication. And they must be calling you scared. They must be calling you with a million questions. And I'm sure those same questions you have. And to be a boss in the same situation, but still trying to give advice. Well, where are you with all that?
I mean, I have a nice group chat going.
Okay.
With all my bar staff. And, they communicate well throughout the company because they're all friends and they network through other restaurants. They all have questions. They're like, is everybody going to get called back with, 50% occupancy?
Right.
Or, when we come back for in dining. But I think they are scared. They're nervous. They all have a little bit of backup plans. They are all in school. They have bills to pay. They have rent. They have cell phone bills. It's a lot of hanging on top of your head, and the pressure is tremendous. I mean,
yeah, that's what I mean. And then they look to you because you're.
And I know that other people feel that way.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to almost rely on your parents. I mean,
Yeah.
It's crazy that some people are 25, 35 years old, and they have to figure it out. They have to reach out to somebody for extra help right now. And maybe you have to make the transition and move back home until this is all over.
I see the politicians and they say that the extra 600 is an incentive to stay home. I don't think anybody wants to stay home. And even if you're making
no, absolutely not.
And that extra 600, I'm making less personally. But even that extra 600, I'm making less personally with the 600 plus unemployment. But and on this weekend, I'm probably making. I could probably make that one check twice that my unemployment check with the 600. I'd make that twice in the next 6 days. You know how Atlantic City is 4th of July weekend. We just rake it in.
Super busy.
But even somebody who is doing better, they're not killing it. They're making 100 more a week. They're making 40 more a week or 20 more a week. So when they come out in the numbers and they say 42% of the people are making more money. Yeah, but out of that 42%, a big portion is just making a couple bucks more, And then they say, we'll give you $450 to go back to work. Well, $450. I mean, yeah, it's okay. It's $400. It's not nothing, but Jesus, and then what? And then what do I do next week and the week after that? You're giving me 40 hours back in a full salary? You're not. You're giving me some shifts in our industry.
Yeah,
I saw
guarantee. And
I saw an idea saying that
you want thinking outside the box. Say, hey, I can bring all my staff back, but you're going to be limited hours.
Yeah,
you're coming back almost like a part-time position.
Yeah, but
everybody has the hours. In my mind, that's how I would like to play fair.
Yeah.
Because again, we're non-union, so we can do that. Obviously Ocean is as well, I think, right? Still, right?
It's kind of a tricky situation. We do not have a union contract. However, we follow a lot of union rules, and it seems like we follow a lot of union rules when it's convenient. But when it's not convenient, we don't. What's up, Joe? Take Del Frisco, 750 seats, 55 servers. Yeah. 7 bartenders on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
You work at Del Frisco's with Joe, Steve, Chris?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And we would run like on a busy night, like 35 servers in that space. Right. 7 bartenders, 5 runners, 8 bussers, 4 or 5 dishwashers. That's a huge nut to fill every day. Revenue wise, they do kill it. But yeah, I mean, independently, you have to, what do you have the Del Frisco's grill? Do you swap things out? Do you, they have a lot of choices to make, they have a lot of choices to make. That's tough because there are a lot of good servers there. There's a ton,
Right about the union thing. What's up? Hey, Chris, what's going on, man? You did awesome yesterday. I appreciate you coming on. This should be a wake-up call to all those that are not saving for an emergency priorities. They spent their money on Las Vegas bags and $600 sneakers instead of putting some aside. I know some people that
Yo.
buy motorcycles with their extra money, so I don't know about
Chris,
that.
I got my New Balance 560s, bro. I can't spend $600 on shoes right now. I got the white Bobos. Get out of here.
Well, sure. I mean, hey, if everybody blows money, I think that a lot of people are doing like guilty pleasures things. Whoops. You know, like what are you doing? You're eating because it feels good. You might spend money on Amazon because it feels good. You know,
Stress eating.
it is.
Stress eating.
Yeah. It's so. Oh, you took your dad's motorcycle. Okay, I know. He just had a new motorcycle. I didn't know he was showing it on Facebook. You know, they stopped to build Del Fisco's out here. Was supposed to open in the spring. Well, they kill it, Steve. If you want to go work there, they do really well.
Yeah.
But those guilty pleasures, you know, you wake up in the morning with all good intentions, right? I'm going to work out today, and then by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you have no good news. Work's not calling you. You're like, fuck this. I'm going to Wawa. I'm getting ice cream. I'm stocking at the liquor store. I'm going to pass out tonight. I mean, it's what you know. I have no. It's just human nature, right? When you have purpose and goals and your drive, and it makes you feel good. You feel like you're accomplishing something. So that's the challenge for me. I'm just trying to clean the house. I'm trying to stay active and work out 4 or 5 times a week, trying to just do minimal things, you know? Yeah. And then I've watched every goddamn show on Netflix. I don't know what to watch. So if anybody's got something for me.
Top 10. I don't understand the top 10 Netflix. I'm confused.
Top 10 Netflix are never anything I want to watch, but I think it's a lot of kids. Because my daughters, they're all in their 20s. All my daughters are watching everything. And I say, well, I don't like them. But I guess it's like, there's 20 somethings that are watching Netflix mostly, you know.
I may get judged, but on Hulu, Handmaid's Tale.
I don't have Hulu. I watched
great show.
I watched Ray Donovan. I don't know if you ever saw that. Sick. Yep. I watched Dexter. I watched The Wire over again. I've watched every little, you know, Ozark. That people are like, watch Ozark. I said that was like an afternoon appetizer in the end of March. That's done. Thank God passed already. You know.
Watch some Better Call Saul. We watched Breaking Bad again.
Yeah.
Great shows.
Yep.
You know, my wife never watched them, so I'm like, let's watch these. And
oh yeah. I watched I watched El Torino like 4 times. I'm like, maybe I forgot something. I'll watch it again. You know?
Let's memorize the whole damn movie.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now. Yeah. And then I just stay off TV and try to get by. But 86, let's say time to 86 Netflix. Nothing to watch anymore. Watched everything. Yeah, I have Prime, I have Netflix, and then I have all the channels. And I'm so excited. Like there was a Perry Mason on HBO, and I was like, I'm going to get into this. Man, I can't even follow it. It's so complicated, and I'm like, you know, I thought this was going to carry me through. Oh, Yellowstone, Kevin Costner on.
Oh man, my
dude,
mom loves that show.
I've watched the 2 seasons.
It's great.
And now I watch. It's like The Sopranos if they own the largest ranch in Montana. That's it. And Kevin Costner is Tony Soprano. Like that, they kill people, they fight people. Everybody fights them. They're on horses. It's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely have to get into that. I think that's if I have some time, I'm definitely going to watch that because I heard great things about Yellowstone. Yeah. Yeah,
I think you can get it on Prime, and then you can also, if you have Paramount Network, you can look it up. But yeah, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. But what else, Chris? We talk more, or let you go to the kids?
Who have you been in contact? We've talked to.
I talked to
Homestead crew a lot. You talk to everybody.
I see Oscar quite a bit. You know, Oscar's enjoying the family, going to the beach. I see Lewis all the time. I work with him now at American Cut. We go over and we hang out in the front yard and sit around and talk. In fact, a lot of the American Cut guys are going back to work. Shout out to you guys. They're doing an outside party. I think they're doing it in HQ right downstairs where beneath us. I think they're going to set all that up and do an outside thing.
Okay.
I've been over to Randy. God bless Randy. Randy's working graveyard and room service right now, brother.
Hey.
How about that? Right?
I mean, what, like 11 to 7?
Yeah, like 12 to 8 a.m. or something. I talked to him because a week ago when we were going to open up, he got back, right? And he starts to get everybody back, making the phone calls. And then 2 days later, we hear we're not going to open up. And he thought, all right, you know, he loves the beach. He's been playing volleyball every day.
Yeah,
he's like, all right.
And they were like, no.
Wait, room service at midnight. He's like,
dude,
I called him. I called him. I said, and he goes, "Yeah, what do you want to know?" I said, "I'm not. He's my boss, right?" But I said, "I don't want to talk business. I just want to make sure you're doing okay, and let you know that you know we'll get through it." And he said, "Yeah, thanks," and that's it. I do stay in contact with what would be our shop store at work. You know, he tells me all the gossip that's coming in, what's
I know,
going
right?
on. You know.
Awesome.
Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's bad. I had a job lined up in Ventnor with Carmine. He used to be a boss at American
Of
Cut,
course. Yeah,
right?
Yeah. He's got what, the
So-
lunch spot over there, right?
Yeah, the Two de Fresca. That's killing
Yeah.
it. So one of his partners was like, "Hey, if you can, you know, maybe we'll help out over here. We do some indoor dining." Phew, that's no good. So all three of my prospects down the tubes. So I always say, I don't know. Some people think that I'm living the life over here, but I say, like, I'm honest. I lost my insurance. I lost my two jobs, and I'm in the same boat as everybody else. But it helps when I hear that, you know, we're all going through it, and we'll figure it out, and we'll network together and
Yeah.
get through it, right?
Yeah. We're one big family. I don't care if I only met you for 1 hour
Yeah,
and you came to me. I do everything in my power to try to help you out. You know what I mean? That's huge. I think that's what needs to happen right now with our industry. And, you know, I don't think it should be, you know, survival of the fittest here. We should just all work together. You know, all those bridges that maybe have been burned, don't think of it that way. You know, you have to be
right.
positive. You know, that's why I go back to the gossip. That gossip can be such negative energy,
Oh yeah,
bring you down into this hole where you can't get out of, you know, and it shouldn't, like I said, getting back to where we first started talking, there's opportunity. You got to keep educating yourself and make yourself better every day and bring all those assets to the table when you come back and make your restaurant that you're working at right now bigger and better. You know, I think by far.
yeah. It's funny that if you worked with somebody for 2 months or 2 weeks and you got in the weeds with them, you're friends for life forever.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're part of, even if you fought with them, even if you got in a fight and you were face to face and
Oh,
you,
man.
you know, like it's what we do. We fight, then we go out, but we always, it is I think Bourdain said it the best. It's a group of misfits, a dysfunctional family that all kind of gels together at 8:00 on a Saturday night and can go through it. Yeah,
all have
Romeo's
these
100%.
things. Yeah.
Like Romeo, we both worked with Romeo years ago in Homestead. You know, friends for life. You know, ton of respect. I said it last week. This guy invented a new way of a new restaurant in Atlantic City. Now everybody aspires to do the numbers that Homestead does. Nobody did them before, and he's the guy that invented it. Somehow, you know, him and Vince and. You know, they just figured out that was needed and invented it. So
If Romeo's still on, I got the Romeo story of the 4th of July.
okay,
Romeo story of the
go
week.
ahead.
It's a good one.
Okay, go ahead.
So I remember this. Remember we were working and Elton John came in for 2 days, right? He did a concert and it was like a hush hush thing. It was only for like Titanium players at the time, and 10 minutes to stop. So I think I had table 40, and it was like an 8 top of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Big ass order. And at the bottom of the ticket, I special prepped Elton John with a woo and all these exclamation points. So good. It gets printed on the expo line, and I hear like I don't even know who it was. Like, I want Chris in the kitchen right now. So I go, "Hey Romeo, what's up?" He's like, "What the fuck is this ticket?" I was like, "Oh, I was just trying to be funny, Elton John. I know we're really busy and everything." He goes, "That fucking ever happens again, you're gonna be walking around this kitchen never having a job." I was like, "Yes, chef." Dude, I don't know what possessed me to do that. That was I love you, but I bet you remember that. I should save the ticket. I wish I still had the ticket from the expo line.
Was Elton in the dining room, or did you just have
No, he
Elton
was
John?
having the concert. It was the concert.
Yeah.
We were busy as shit.
Yeah.
You know, like 9:40 to out the door. You know, Randy was doing his hair thing. You know, he was doing this a lot. Like, it was a mess. Like, you know.
Yeah. Good
That
times.
I'll
tell you what. Some of my best stories are from Homestead because
absolutely. There's so many.
Yeah, there's so many. Some of my best stories.
We could do an hour special of just stories of Homestead.
I'd like. Let's see. The chef's table scenes were the
Oh
best.
yeah, you should have had a camera in there, chef. He should have had a camera in there because the things that happen in that room, God bless.
Listen, somehow Romeo, going crazy at the line and yelling and screaming and all that was entertaining. Everybody
Yeah.
wanted to sit because
made
it was
the
an open
chef
kitchen, and no matter what he said, everybody was just like, God, I love that guy.
Yeah. Then
It was pretty awesome.
I had the guys that came in and they, Gail had told them, or Brian told them there's a table minimum for the chef's table. And they're like, okay, there's a table minimum. How much? And I don't know what they said, 2,500 or something. He was like, all right, well, I want Sestakaya. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. How many do you want? He's like, I want 6 bottles of Sestakaya right now.
Oh my God.
Okay. So Gail goes and gets the 6 bottles of Sestakaya. She goes, are you okay? Going to open these bottles? I'm like, yeah, I'm in here. And Ernesto at the time had like 7 deuces at the same time. And I'm in there messing with these guys. And I open up the bottle of Sestakaya. I'm like, sir, would you like to taste the bottle of Sestakaya? And he's like, absolutely. I was like, well, all right. And I went to go pour it in his glass. He's like, no. Give me the bottle. And he just takes the bottle of Sestakaya right to the face. So it'll be good. Open up all 6. That's the minimum. I was like, boom, here you go. Have a great day. Towers, porterhouses, lobsters. It was crazy. They were out in an hour.
What'd you make that night? 8?
I think no, we did go. We did like 1,400. Honest to God, that was the night. I turned it 4 times.
Chef's table.
We'll turn 4 times. The last guest was Donovan McNabb. Came in super late.
Okay.
Donovan came in and we were like almost done. Brian's like, hey, I got a 6 top. He comes in and he was in an hour and out. Done. See you later. 2 beans. See you later.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I should do a show and get like 7 or 8 I think I can put 10 on the screen right here.
Like a round
And
robin.
I should just put 10 people on here and say, I want your best stories
Oh, man.
about, the nastiest, the funniest, like that. Just do stories for an hour of people sharing
watching
stories.
Philly games in Manja during the World Series run. That was great. Well, where's Chris at? In Manja watching the NLCS when Victorino hits a grand slam. Oh my God.
How about this guy? This guy is Captain Jack, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna tell my story about the chef's table. I don't know if anybody wants to hear it. So we're open at Homes. This is probably like 2004, 2003. We're brand new open. We're still getting our ass kicked on a nightly basis. And some guy named Captain Jack walks in, and they're like middle-aged. Like he's a little older, but he's got 3 women with him that are probably like 35, maybe 40, something like that, all tanned up. I don't know who this guy is. They start sitting, they start eating. The ladies take their shirt off, and I mean they don't take it off. They lift it up, right? So boobs are out, and I'm like, Jesus. At the time I'm living with somebody at home, right? I got a girl at home, and I'm like, I'm gonna lose my girl and my job tonight. That's what I know is gonna happen, right? And the guy goes, go get us a bowl of whipped cream and a bunch of strawberries because it's like dessert time and the ladies don't have shirts on. And I think, oh my God, I don't know what to, like, what the, we have those little curtains. So I just like turn the curtains because the chef's table is all glass. And I walk outside. And I asked Yonk and the food and beverage director at the time, the guy from England, Alex.
Yeah.
And I said, listen, you see these people over here in the chef's room? I said, they want whipped cream. And Vince looks at me and he goes, get the whipped cream, Mike. And I got the whipped cream. I bring it in, I put it on the table, and and then they ask me, come on, let's go. And I thought, I'm gonna lose my home over this stuff. So I walked out. Nothing crazy happened except ladies took their shirt off.
Yeah.
And I just stayed out of the room for a long time. I don't know if Oscar was my back waiter at the time either, but he was like, what the fuck is going on in that table?
Just keep the whipped cream and strawberries going.
Oh my gosh! So that's a good story that I tell often, and I kind of calmed it down to be online. But great stories, great talking to you today, Chris.
Thanks for having me on.
It's been too long. Thanks for everybody that's watching. Comment. I'll be back with Giovanna on Tuesday at noon. Giovanna's in Las Vegas. You know Giovanna, Chris?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, we love her. Great.
Yeah. She's in Vegas now, so she can't wake up early. So we're going to do it at 12 o'clock on Tuesday. We'll be back with Josh next week. And maybe you, Romeo. I don't know. I didn't call you this week.
With the dog.
I didn't call you this week because I I knew the holiday weekend had you all crazy, but maybe next Friday, or we'll figure it out. I'd love to talk to you, even if it's in your restaurant while you're making some meatballs. Or Romeo's meatball, his Kobe meatball. I don't like to have it at Homestead, because then when I make meatballs at home, I'm disappointed in my product. I'm like, God, I can't, like it's that good. So maybe Justin wants to play golf, Chris.
I'm in.
All
Bring
right. Guys, thanks for watching this week. I'm going to take the weekend off, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Chris, thanks so much, man.
Happy 4th of July. Bye-bye.
Happy 4th of July, brother.